And in expected news, President Donald Trump will remain our president, with the Senate shooting down both articles of impeachment.
Donald John Trump, President of the United States, is not guilty as charged.
Trump was acquitted Wednesday afternoon following a brief trial in a historic rejection of Democrats' claims that the president's Ukraine dealings and handling of congressional subpoenas warranted his immediate removal from office. The only Republican Party defection was Utah Senator Mitt Romney, who voted to convict the president on one charge of abuse of power. The acquittal comes a day after Trump addressed the nation in his State of the Union address, where House Speaker Nancy Pelosi ripped up a copy of the president's speech on live television. All right, let's bring in tonight's A-plus panel. We are joined by immigration attorney slightly to my political left, Afia Yunus. Good to see you, Afia.
You too, Bill.
And Matt Rooney, publisher of the Save Jersey blog and a New Jersey attorney. Matt, I'll start with you on this. Let's just talk quickly. Impeachment. Is this it? 2-3 years, Russia, collusion, obstruction, now it's done. What do you think? Can the country move on?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to say our long national nightmare is over, but what else do the Democrats have to talk about, right? They don't want to talk about Iowa. That's a disaster. They can't talk about what they actually believe because that's socialism, so it isn't popular. So they're going to continue to talk about the next fake scandal, but Donald Trump will continue to try to get on with the business of the country. It's sad. Think of everything we could have accomplished for this nation over the past 3 years if we weren't distracted by this nonsense.
Avia, does this hurt the Democrats going forward? I mean, and we kind of knew what was going to happen all along getting here, but are the optics not good?
Yeah, and the sad thing is I feel like there's a good majority of Democrats who feel like this was not the right decision. And unfortunately, I kind of agree with Matt that we knew this was going to happen, and here we are just waiting for what we already knew was going to happen. And unfortunately, all this time has been wasted.
So let's change gears, talk about the State of the Union. There was some antics on display last night, not the least of which was Speaker Pelosi, who some say really got bullied into the whole impeachment thing by the squad and others. But there at the end of the speech, she ripped it up. A lot of people on both sides saying, wow, kind of unprofessional, look kind of childish. What do you think?
Yeah, and I think both sides were unprofessional. I mean, with Trump not shaking her hand and she reached out and he kind of turned his back to her, it kind of seemed like it was all kind of rehearsed. But yeah, I agree. She should not have ripped the speech and he should not have done what he had done.
So to that point, Matt, real quick, your take on this.
Yeah, I think since the whole ripping up the speech stunt went so bad for Nancy Pelosi, the Democrats and their friends in the media are kind of going back to the tape to try to find something rude that the president did. Unfortunately, they're going to have to own this one. President Trump, love him or hate him, had some fantastic Americans there last night as his guest, and he was proposing some really important reforms, including school choice, to help a lot of kids that are suffering. Nancy Pelosi made it very clear to the country how seriously she takes their plight. Not very seriously at all. Terrible.
All right. Thanks, guys.